morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, and a little bit of life thrown in. Oh, this is Bagheera, my kitty, my kitty Valentine baby. I am a little bit late today, which you may or may not realize, depending on, of course, how long it takes to upload my video. It's really hit or miss. Sometimes it takes, an hour, and sometimes it has taken 8 hours. So it really just depends. But I am late. It's about 11, quarter after 11 here, which is really late for me to be actually filming my video. But it's because I was at Erin and Stacy's this weekend, and just got home about 45 minutes ago, got ready, changed my shirt, put on some makeup, and of course, because I was gone for a day, Mr. Baggy is kind of clingy, wants to be near me. First, of course, he kind of snubbed me just the tiniest bit. He let me pick him up, but then he wouldn't like headbutt me or give me the kisses, which you guys know he loves to do. But then I gave him some wet food and he immediately forgave me. So I have a feeling he's going to be on me pretty much all day today. Make sure that I don't leave again. But anyway, I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you like what you see, want to hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I do have a super thanks button on the channel. It looks like a heart with a $sign in it, and that is a way to give a monetary tip if you really love what you see. Any money that comes to me, of course, it's not expected, but it is totally appreciated. And any money that I do get through my channel basically goes back into the channel, pays for my monthly Zoom membership, because I do a monthly, at least monthly, Zoom get-together, Stitchy get-together, and then any shipping or anything like that. Speaking of the Zoom get-together, actually I didn't say welcome to my returning subscribers, but you guys, hopefully you know by now that I really appreciate you guys, and I'm so glad that you're here. But back to the Zoom. Next Saturday, which is February 18th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, we will be having a Zoom Stitchy meetup. So hopefully any of you guys can join. All of the information is in the description box below. I started doing it that way. I was a little bit more sneaky about it. I don't know, that's not even the right word. But I would make people like send me a message to get the information, and then finally I realized that I wasn't getting any kind of bad experiences or anybody weird trying to get on, so I figured I would put it below, and if something weird happens, then we can go back to the old way. But for now, it's a lot easier for you guys to just be able to go onto my video or any of the videos in the couple weeks beforehand and be able to find that information. So hopefully you will be able to join next Saturday. It is a fun, chill time. Basically, we just sit online together, chit chat. Sometimes we talk about very important things. Sometimes we talk about really silly things. Sometimes we're silent, although not much of the silent. And then some of us stitch, some of us do other kinds of like needle crafts, like crocheting, whatever. People fold their laundry, people exercise. Some people just sit there and just enjoy being with other people and chit-chatting. So there's no rules, nothing that you have to be stitching on. It's just a way for us to get together as a community. So please join if you can. So as I was saying, I went over to Erin and Stacy's this weekend. Yesterday was my brother and sister-in-law's 16th wedding anniversary. And yes, they did get married on February 11th. They did not have real flowers at their wedding. A, because Stacy's allergic. But B, because they kind of looked into it when they first got, set the date and everything, and realized that flowers on the 11th of February was going to be so expensive that it really was not worth it. So you know, it worked out because, again, Stacey is allergic, so she probably wouldn't have been able to carry a bouquet anyway. So they had really lovely silk flowers. I was a bridesmaid in the wedding. So, you know, anyway, so it was their anniversary. And you guys know I've talked about my family so much on this channel, but I do have 3 nieces and nephews, or niece and nephews. Logan is the oldest. He is just turned 15. Reagan just turned 13 in January. In December. Sorry, December. Logan was January. And then Hudson was 8 in October. And, you know, really, Aaron and Stacey are extremely good and connected parents. But they have 3 kids, and I don't think that they could count probably on a handful, on one hand, maybe 2, the number of nights that they've actually been able to have a night together without kids climbing into their bed or interrupting them. They just don't get a lot of like alone time. They're getting more now because as Logan's gotten older, they're able to, you know, go out and like leave the kids for an hour or so. And so that's good, but they haven't really had like an overnight vacation, if you want to call it that. Not very often. And so they had said weeks ago when we were talking about me coming over that like they might leave me, you know, so they could go out to dinner. I'm like, you know, you guys, you can go out. I mean, as long as the kids are okay with it, you can go out and I will stay and I will not leave on Sunday until you guys get there. And so the kids were like, okay, you know, they a little bit wary about not having mom and dad, but it was good. Hudson, you know, he was on his best behavior. He really was. He had been promised a treat. I don't know what it is. He made some kind of deal with his mom. They went to Disneyland on Thursday and something, he had like a gift card or something. I don't know. But he was really on his best behavior, and I have to say he did a great job. Couple times where he got a little bit stressed out, and we were able to talk each other off the ledge, and reminding him that a good report card would mean a treat, and so he was able to talk himself out of having any kind of problem. Logan was his normal helpful self. Logan cracks me up because he is such, and I say this with love, he's such the absent-minded professor. It totally reminds me of my brother at that age. He's just very cerebral and always has these things going on in his head, and he's always thinking about the things that he's doing, and so sometimes he'll walk around in a fog. And it was I had to laugh because he was supposed to, you know, my brother and Logan, you know, take the dogs out for their walks during the day and everything. But my brother usually does the last nighttime one, which is around 9 or so. And so they had talked to Logan and said, okay, we're going to call. You can be on the phone with us the whole time and you take the dogs out for the nighttime walk. And so that was fine. You know, they had texted me like, is Logan ready to do the walk? And I was like, yeah. So I told him, go put your shoes on, get your jacket. And they're like, we'll have him call us when, you know, he starts taking the dog out. So Logan comes out, and I just had to laugh because this was so like absent-minded professor. He comes out, he gets his shoes on, he gets his jacket, he gets his phone, and he's all ready to call his mom, right? And he goes out the door. I'm like, Logan. He comes back in. I'm like, you're forgetting the dogs. Oh yeah. So he goes and he gets the first dog and puts it on its leash, and it was really funny. He was just like so in his head. I had to laugh. And then Reagan wasn't feeling great last night. I think, I don't know, she was in a great mood, and then all of a sudden she kind of disappeared into the bedroom, and I think she was having a headache or something. So it was funny. All of the rules were like out the window, right? Because it was a special, like, you know, movie party night with Aunt Carla, and nobody had to go to bed at their regular time or anything. But what cracked me up is although Hudson didn't have to go to bed, he was laying down on the couch watching movies with me and Logan. He ended up going to sleep around his normal bedtime anyway. He just fell asleep on the couch. Reagan ended up going to bed probably earlier than she normally does, and Logan went to bed at the same time. So even though the rules were off, they kind of self decided it was time to go to bed, and it turned out to be about the normal time that they go. So I thought that was kind of funny. But I had a really good time with them. I got to meet Lilo, which is Aaron and Stacy's new puppers. And they adopted her probably about a month ago now. They had no intention of adopting another dog, especially because they're moving this year. So after they had to have Boo, who was 16, I think 17, and she had to cross the bridge this year, and that was really hard, and they decided they weren't going to get another dog till after they moved. But while they were on vacation over the holidays, they got an email from a friend or something, and of course the whole story tugged on their heartstrings. There was a dog that was rescued from a hoarder's home. Apparently there were like 50 dogs in this home, all like purebred Malteses. And this one, and then I think one of its litter mates, had, because of all the inbreeding, has some kind of a neurological problem that manifests very much similar to like Parkinson's in people, or like cerebral palsy. So she is perfectly healthy, all of her organs and brain and, you know, perfectly healthy. She just is shaky, and she can walk, but she can't like walk in a straight line. And she, you know, she's very well, part of it's she's a puppy. She's only like, I think 7 months old. So, you know, puppies are like all wiggly, you know, you pick them up and they wiggle all over. She does that more so and kind of all the time. But, you know, when she calms down, she's the sweetest little girl. She looks so much like a Muppet. It was driving me crazy because she looks like a specific dog Muppet. And just the shape of her face, it was making me nuts. I kept looking at her going, she looks like something. And then finally I went, I'm Muppet. And I went and I looked at the pictures and I'm like, this one. She's all white and Nala is all black. So it's like they have, you know, they have the yin yang there in dog. She's small. She's like a little 6-pound dog, just like Nala is. And she's just the sweetest thing. So it's the first time I got to meet her. And of course, you know, Aaron and Stacy are definitely the exact kind of people who would adopt a special needs dog. She doesn't really have any special needs. They just have to be patient with her as far as like she can't jump up and down off the couch. So if she's brought up onto the couch, somebody has to make sure to put her down on the floor if people are getting off the couch, because she'll get stuck up there. And if she tries to jump off, she will, but then she'll like fall on her face and she can't right herself as easily. And you know, they carry her down the stairs to take her out. They told her that they told them that she may never be house trained, but she is pretty good. I mean, she's a puppy, so she has the occasional accident, and she did have an accident this morning because I was not recognizing the signs of her saying that she needed to go out, so that was more my fault. But she's really good, and she holds it, and she does let you know when she needs to go. I didn't recognize her language, you know. But she's really good. But they have to, again, because she's so off balance, like, you know, they don't take her to walk. They basically take her downstairs, set her on an area, and she'll go. She sometimes falls over. If she lifts, she's a girl, but if she gets into a position that dogs normally get into to go to the bathroom, she sometimes falls over because she's off balance. But you know, other than that, she's a perfect little sweetheart. So it was nice to meet her and get to have actually last night when I was sleeping, I had a dog here, and a child stretched out next to me so that I could pet him, because his mom wasn't there, so he was a little stressed in the middle of the night, but mostly good. So anyway, that is why I've started my video late today, because I didn't get home until Aaron and Stacy got home. They looked actually very relaxed. They said it was so wonderful to get to just go to a hotel room, put on a movie. They fell asleep. Stacy said she woke up this morning and she was in the middle of the bed, which never happens. She never gets the middle of the bed. She's always squished to the edges by children and animals. So yeah, so they were able to have a really good night's sleep and spend some quality time together. They went to their favorite and my favorite sushi restaurant, so I'm a little jealous about that. But yeah, they had a really nice nice evening together. So I'm glad that I was able to do that for them and spend time with kids, which was fun. And Logan even you know, let me pick one of the movies, and he enjoyed it. They never want to watch what I suggest, and then when I kind of insist, then they kind of watch reluctantly, and then usually they really like all the movies I pick, usually. So, you know, but they're teenagers, they get their opinions that I'm not gonna like that, that's gonna be boring, but then they end up liking them. Let's see, I think that's about it. I know today is Super Bowl Sunday. I put it in the title. Means absolutely nothing to me. I was trying to think about it this week because I had my friend at work was talking about what they were going to do on Super Bowl Sunday and stuff. I don't think I've ever watched an entire Super Bowl. I mean, I know I've been to like maybe 1 or 2 Super Bowl parties, and basically didn't watch. I think I've watched a couple. Now, when I was in high school, I went to the high school football games all the time, so it's not like I don't know anything about football, but I've just never really watched it on TV. I've definitely never watched anything other than the Super Bowl as far as football. My family, although not hugely sports oriented, if anything, was much more baseball oriented. We used to go to minor league games when I was a kid, like especially like 4th of July and stuff. We go to the minor league games, the Modesto A's, and we'd then have picnics on the lawn and fireworks and stuff. Been to Dodger Stadium and Angel Stadium and watched all those games live, and you know, I've heard Dodger games on in the background when I was, you know, with my mom and my brother, because they enjoyed watching them. I never was into it, but definitely more of a baseball family than football. But for those of you that are watching, I hope that you're enjoying it and that your team is winning or won. I don't even know who's playing. It's completely over my head. Okay, I think that that's it for the preamble today. Let's get into showing you some fun stuff. The paperwork, my journal creation. I did do a little bit this week. I continued on making the maze insert. So I cut a few more, and then I actually got to where I assembled a few of them. And I just want to show you, because I know, like, if you haven't seen me showing off the books, you may not know what I'm talking about. So what I do, first of all, I always do something to the corners. I couldn't find my just rounded one, so I used this little shaped one. And it's basically, it's just 2 papers, and then they're glued together to make this sort of maze, I guess. And it's just a fun insert in the journals, and it's so funny because this is one of the easiest things to do, but everybody that I've shown them to, this is one of the things that they love the best. And, you know, regardless of what you're using the journal for, if you are the kind of person that is using it to write little notes or to use it as a autograph book kind of thing, I mean, this just affords all these cute little, you know, tucky places to put your little notes or thoughts or poems or signatures or whatever. I mean, that's really cool. And if you are putting stitching in your journal, again, there's lots of, I mean, smalls definitely, but you know, there's all these different places that you could put smalls down to really small. But yeah, so anyway, so that's what I did. I worked on a few of those. I got 5 of them completed, and I still have a couple more papers to cut out, so that's why I'm in that process. And again, because I'm doing sort of a lot of journals, I'm kind of doing them, I'm doing components, and then, you know, at some point I'll just put everything together, and I think that'll be fun. Okay, onto my stitching. I don't have any starts or finishes this week, and I only have 4 projects to show you, and part of that is because I got obsessed with my chatelaine this week, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, but aside from that, I worked on my my cute lion biscornu. I started this in August because I always do a lion pattern in August for my birthday, for being Leo the lion. This is something I started, and I enjoy doing that one lion pattern a year. And I chose this biscornu this year. I'd never done one before, so my friend Dawn and I, who'd also never done one, we decided to do biscornus and do hashtag biscornu beginner. And I'm getting really close to finishing this. Let's see, I think this is actually how I started it, I think. Yeah, so this is the last one, and I'm pretty much done except for just the yellow body and tail, and then a little bit more of the, you know, the back stitching and stuff. But once I get that done, then this will be done, and then the back is basically just these little corners with the flowers. So I think this is so cute. So I'm gonna try, I really want to get this done before the end of the month. So that is a goal, to finish that. So I definitely need to work on it at least once more this week, this coming week, and then the following week as well. Okay. Yesterday, because I was over at Erin Stacy's, I take this with me, and it's in this bag, which I really love. And I think they gave this to me like 2 years ago for Valentine's Day. They gave me a Valentine's present this week too, but it's not open. It's actually, I left it in my car because I had too much stuff to carry up. But we're gonna get on a FaceTime call or something on Tuesday evening after work, and I'm gonna open the gift they gave me, and I have sent them some stuff that's all supposed to arrive from Amazon, and so they'll open the boxes and I'll open my present on Valentine's, so that's fun. But anyway, when I'm over there, I work on this project. I used to, like, each week would try and decide what to bring, and I finally decided it was just easier if I picked one project that I would put in my bag and leave there, because I have a bag that I always bring. It, you know, it has my chargers and, you know, my face wipes and stuff like that I'm going to need every time I go, and I just have that packed and I can ignore it. But I'm working on Jardin Privé sampler au chat, and this is the only true sampler I think that I've ever done. I enjoy it. I'm not really a sampler stitcher. I'm enjoying doing all the alphabets and stuff on this one, but you know, I mean, it's like, I like this pattern, but I'm definitely not a sampler stitcher. But I'm doing this on a 20 count? Yeah, 20 count ice blue Aida. So it is blue. It's not white. And I'm doing it with sulky thread. I have 3 colors of sulky, a variegated that I'm doing the majority of the stuff in, and the purple for all the cats, and then the sort of rosy pink for all the little accenty things. So I did work on this, and basically I didn't finish the queue, but I started the queue. I did this whole motif thing right here, and I had to pull out about half of the W. So I pulled that out and restitched it, and then started on X there. But that's where I am, and I am enjoying this. I like it as a travel project. I think I would really love to get this done this year. So depending on where I am when I get to November, it will probably be on my push to a finish list. Oh, and then I changed this alphabet right here, was just a regular alphabet, and I changed it to say Karla Loves Baggy, and I put 2020 because that's when I started it. So I'm planning on finishing it this year, so I think I'll put, there's a little space next to one of the Z's. Like right here. It has the Z, and then it says OE, but that's not actually charted, so I think that was somebody, their personalization. But I'm going to probably put maybe my initials. Well, I don't need to put my initials because it says Karla, but I'm going to put the 23 right there. So as I said, I'm doing this with Sulky, and I'm using 1 strand on the 20 count, which is a combination that I really enjoy. I enjoy the 20 count with Sulky. Okay. I worked on my mini flower kitty, which is a Heaven and Earth design. Jeremiah Kentner. And I had about 1/3 of the current diagonal to finish, which I did. So probably about that much of the diagonal. This is just so pretty. I mean, every time I work on this, it's just, I love the colors and I just love how it's looking. I'm excited to get to the actual kitty part, but I really like it. And I like too, because it's sort of watercolory, I don't worry too much about like, oh gee, if I misparked something and I'm working with the wrong color. I mean, it's so watercolory, it doesn't matter. It's all gonna look great. Okay, and then last but definitely not least was this avalanche of haul. Hold on. Okay. I worked on my Jobelan, which is a green lace garden. The mystery number 2, actually, I think is what it originally was. And I worked on this on Sunday, and I was like obsessed with getting these like triangle bits finished so I could move on to like the next step. So that's what I did. I did it like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, which is funny because it's Jobelan Wednesday and I didn't work on it Wednesday, but I just really wanted to get that done. And I did. And I think it's looking so pretty. I'm just really enjoying working on this. And it got me to thinking, you know, we always talk about being enablers, you know, and we always say it tongue-in-cheek, like it's not necessarily a bad thing and all that kind of stuff. And when I say it, I do not mean it as a bad thing at all. But I was thinking about it, and it's funny because the FlossTuber, the person who has enabled me probably more than anybody else, I have to say, is Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, because it was her, watching her channel and seeing her work on, I think it was Blue Waves, something like that, which is a kind of canvas piece that got me thinking, that's really pretty. I want to try that. So I started counting canvas. Love it because of Julie. And then she has been working on, what is it called? Herbarius, something like that. It's the herb garden one. She's been working on that, which is huge and gorgeous. And I kept saying no. Not interested in Jobelan. No, 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 no. And every time she pulled it out, that no got chipped away until finally I was like, okay, let me look. And here we are with one that I'm working on and obsessed with, and a big bag of a bunch of other ones that I have gotten all the components for and will be starting. So Julie is my personal enabler, I have to say. And, you know, I still love her for it because the things that she has encouraged me to work on, I love. So thank you, Julie. So let me know, like, who is your personal enabler, especially if they're not somebody that I know about or watch currently. I'd love to know so that I can go watch them. I'm going to try to avoid being enabled by anybody else because I think I'm at a good place. I don't need to start doing anything else. I've been watching Leah, who's a Lee, who sticks strings and other things. She's a knitter, and I watch her and I'm like, nope, not going to try and get into this. Same with like Kelly, who is Pages and Stitches. She is a quilter, and she separates out her like FlossTube. Like she has FlossTube videos, and then like the same day or the next day she'll put out a Quilter's Corner video. So she's filming them at the same time, but she puts them out in two separate things. And I've been watching her Quilter's Corner from the very beginning, even though I'm not a quilter, because her stuff is just so gorgeous. And every time I watch it, I'm always like, that's so pretty, that looks like fun. And I'm like, no, I don't like stitching. I have to remember that. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you see other people doing gorgeous things. You so are tempted. But as far as like the knitting and the quilting, I'm been able to hold myself back. So anyway, okay. That was all of my, sorry, my train just derailed there for a second. That was all of my stitching for the week. So yeah, it was only 4 projects, but I did, and you know, it was less time spent stitching because I didn't stitch it all on Friday because I was over at Erin Stacy's, and we were playing D&D actually that night because Reagan had a very early cheer practice yesterday morning, so we couldn't do it in the morning like we normally do. So I didn't have any stitching on Friday, but I stitched a bit, you know, on yesterday on the Assembler shop. I do have a haul to show you today that I am kind of excited about. So first thing, actually, this is not from this week. This is from like two weeks ago or so, and I forgot to show you. So you guys saw I finished this last year, at the end of last year. So, you know, a month or so ago I finished this. And now this month I'm working on the Forget-Me-Nots, which is it's not a companion. I mean, it's the same sort of style. It's on the same sort of fiddler's cloth Aida, the same acrylic wool flosses, so it's going to be very vibrant. And I want to hang them together. And I was like, I'm not always big on frames. Certain things I feel like, oh yes, I want to frame it. Other things I just don't know. And this one was one of those I just don't know. And I was thinking a pillow, but then I thought, you know what, a wall hanging would be good. And I heard other people talk about these, and I decided to go ahead and get them. Relatively inexpensive, actually, probably cheaper than even getting a frame, are these, they call them like poster hangers. So you get it, it's magnetic. So you have one end that is the hanger part, and then the bottom, and it's 2 pieces with the really strong magnets, and then you just sandwich that at the top of the piece and at the bottom of the piece, and then you hang it. So what I have to decide with this is, do I want to finish the edges, or do I want to like do some kind of like a fringy thing? But I got this one for this piece, which I think is going to be the right size, yeah. And then I got the smaller one. I haven't even opened that. I got the smaller one for the Forget-Me-Nots. How funny, I forgot Forget-Me-Nots. So basically what I will do once I figure out how to finish it is, you know, obviously I'm doing this sort of haphazard here. Okay, and you know, I wouldn't have this sticking out the top, but you get the idea. And then you hang it. So if you do it so that the fabric isn't sticking out the top looking silly, then it'll look something like that. I like this, I can't remember what this wood is. Teak. So I don't know if it's actual teak or it's just a teak finish, but I think that looks pretty. And then, you know, you hang this at the bottom, and it gives it the weight that you need to hold it straight. You know, and then something like that. So holding it up like this, I think looking at it, I think it's going to look best if I just kind of finish it, you know, just fold it over and maybe just tack it in some way. Maybe I'll put like an interfacing or something on it. I don't know. But anyway, so that's how I'm going to display that when I get it actually done. I think it actually looks really pretty with the flowers and with this sort of fiddler's cloth. I think the teak looks actually really pretty with it. So that is what I'm going to be doing for that. And then I have the other one for when I finish forget-me-nots, and then they can hang together. And because it's so like impermanent that, you know, it's a good way, like if you have a lot of stuff and you want to like mix and match them, like if you have seasonal stitches, that's a good way to do it, I think. So yeah, so that's my plan for that. Okay, then the other bits of haul I got, I ordered 2 patterns from 123 Stitch. Why? I don't know. I got a bug in my ear. I'm into the pretty ladies right now, and I specifically was looking at Joan Elliott, and I saw 2 that I really liked, so I went ahead and got them. I don't know when I will be stitching them. I mean, I will be stitching them, but I don't know if that's gonna be started this year or some other time. So the 2 I got Sweet Pea Fairy. She just very, I don't know, hippie 60s 70s flower child vibe to me, and I really love her. I like her vibe. And then the other one I got is kind of similar actually, and this one, this is funny because when I saw her, I mean, I think she's really pretty and I love her, and she also makes me think of Kelly from Pages and Stitches, only because Kelly is into mushrooms and she's stitching a mushroom thing, so she talks about mushrooms all the time. And when I saw her, I immediately thought of Kelly because of the mushrooms. And so she's called Earth Goddess. So very autumnal sort of looking, which are not necessarily my colors that I enjoy the most, but I really love her sweet expression, and I love the sort of ivy that's in her hair. I just think that's really pretty. And I like the mushrooms. I really do. So anyway, those are the 2 I got. I also got this, is it called a skein? What is that? No, I guess a card. This is Rainbow Gallery Arctic Rays. And I got this because I kind of just wanted to see what it was. On my count canvas piece, I'm missing a floss called Chrome Snow. And my friend said she had some and she'll send it to me eventually, which is fine. I'm not in any rush. And I'll be able to use that. In the color I need mango, she said she had the mango, so she was going to send me that. And I think she had a couple colors that she was going to send me. But I wanted to see what this was because I know that in a lot of the counted canvases that I've gotten, they do call for Chrome Snow, and it's really hard to find. So if I need something, I think that this might be similar. I don't know because I haven't seen the snow in real life, but I think that this might be similar. It says wispy fringe, and it's, you know, it's something you would use for long stitches. Let's see if I can get, I don't know where the start is. Oh, here. Yeah, there. So I think that might work. And I just wanted to get a, get a card and see what it was all about. I mean, it's certainly pretty. Now, the only thing with this is that it doesn't come in a lot of colors. So, but I just thought that it was pretty, and I wanted to try. I wanted to see what it was so that I kind of had an idea if I'm trying to substitute ever for something that I need it to be wispy, sparkly stuff. So those are the patterns. I am going to try really hard not to buy any other patterns except for I am going to get the Phoenix Queen from Bella Filipina as soon as it's available on 2-3 Stitch, because I just love her. Okay, so the other bit of haul I got, and this actually came in the mail over the weekend, so I picked it up right before I came home today, and I'm going to open it with you. So I got some fabric from Dying for Cross Stitch. They had a couple pieces that were on sale, and there was one piece that I've been looking at for months, and I do not need fabric. And I have so much fabric to dye, which I enjoy, but I gave in. I gave in to that I want stuff monster. And I got some greens, basically. Okay. This one is called Dark Moss. It's a 28 count opal Lugana. And I think that this would work really well for actually a lot of the fancy ladies, like the earth toned fancy ladies that, you know, that even like this one, or, you know, or the Phoenix Queen, it might look really good on. So anyway, I got this piece. Again, it's a 28 count opal, dark moss. The medium moss is really pretty, but there wasn't a piece left in opal. And I figured if I'm gonna buy hand-dyed fabric, then I might as well go with the sparkly ones, because that's really what I like best, and it's only a couple dollars more expensive. And you know, I hate getting the fabric and then being like, this is so pretty, I wish it was sparkly. So, you know, just stick to the sparkly. This is a small piece of opal Lugana 28 count called Greens 3. I was in a green mood, I guess. Seems a little bit lighter when I hold it up. It's just a smaller piece. And then I believe this next one was a, yeah, it was the February fabric of the month, and it was on sale. So I guess it doesn't have a name. It's just February fabric of the month. And again, 28 count opal Lugana. So sort of gray, yellow, green. Again, I think this would look really pretty for some kind of fancy lady. Maybe even a mermaid that would work on. But yeah, so definitely I'm sure it will eventually have probably a fancy lady on it of some sort. So yes, that is it. That is my haul. So probably more than I should have gotten, but no regrets, right? So I'm gonna try and like hold myself back from making any more purchases, except, as I said, I'm going to get that Phoenix Queen, and probably when I order her, I'll order like the beads and stuff that go with her, just because I'm just getting a little bit worried about beads and stuff not being available. And I know that I could make substitutions, but I'm just less familiar with the beads. Like, I'm very comfortable making substitutions of floss if I have to, just picking other colors or going through stash and picking something that would work, but I'm not as comfortable with like the beads and the treasures and stuff like that. So for those, I'll probably go ahead and get those, because I do like her so much. I want to start her sooner than later. So okay, so plans, more of the same. I'm stitching my February floral fantasy stuff. I want to definitely work on both the Be My Own Valentine Sal piece and the Lime Score Nude this week. at least one time each, because I'm trying to get those done by the end of the month. If I don't, it's not a huge deal, but I do kind of want to get those done. And then do a little bit more of my paper crafting. I'm trying to get a little bit of that done every week, because I want to, if I got everything done by the summer, that'd be great. I mean, I gave myself till the next holiday season to get them out to the people, but I'd like to keep steadily going on that and getting a little bit done each week, so that I don't end up feeling like I have a burden. I mean, this is supposed to be fun and a gift that I'm giving to the viewers who won, so there's that. A lot of people did say in my comments last week that they kind of like the idea of getting magazine pattern, you know, pages that are torn out. So I am going to start doing that when I have time to go through the magazine, pick out stuff that I know that I'm not going to stitch, that I can get the whole pattern and picture and everything out easily. Then I'm going to start doing those as giveaways. I don't have anything today, but hopefully maybe next week. I know there was a whole section of Christmas ornaments that, you know, I'm not going to stitch those, so maybe I'll do that first. And then whoever wins, I'm just going to put it in a regular envelope with a regular stamp. Because I think even if it was international, if it's just in a regular envelope with a regular stamp, it's not that much more expensive. So yeah, I am looking forward possibly to starting a new D&D game on Thursday. My brother was talking about, he and Logan do this game that he's DMing, that they're using, I guess there's an online program called D20, I think that's what it is. And so I don't know exactly how it works, but I mean, it's free to get onto the system. I mean, I think you can buy like upgrade, but you don't have to. And basically the DM can run the game through this D20, and then people don't have to be together, but like a Zoom where you see the person, you can hear each other, and then the actual gameplay, you can see it all in a map. I guess there's certain campaigns that are already loaded in the system and others that they're working on. And I guess if you are so talented, you can put your own in, but I don't know. But anyway, so my brother had a friend at work who had been watching Critical Role, which, if you know, you know, it's a YouTube channel, Twitch stream thing, started several years ago, which was basically a bunch of voice actors who started filming their personal like D&D game, and because they are voice actors, they're very talented, and so their characters, you know, were very very entertaining. So it was very entertaining to watch these games, and it just kind of took off, and so much so that they, you know, they like formed a company and basically became a whole company, and now there's actually a cartoon, an animated series that they're in the second season of it. Very adult. I mean, it is animated, but it is very adult. So yeah, not for the little kids. It's violent and it's sexual, and there's a lot of stuff, but but if you like D&D and you're not offended by any of that stuff, it's pretty cool. Anyway, that's a long way to go to say. So my brother's friend at work had been watching Critical Role, and the show is called The Legend of Vox Machina, in case you're interested. But anyway, so he'd been watching Critical Role, and he knew my brother had been playing D&D with his kids, like our game that we play, and he asked his brother if he could play in a game. So my brother started this game. So it was, at first it was this one friend from work and Aaron and Logan, and then another friend from work heard about it and wanted to join, and so they let him join. So right now it's like the four of them. So they were talking about, Aaron was talking about, on Thursday he has this D&D game, and I was kind of like, I want to play. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, we don't really want to add another character, but there's like 3 non-player characters that he's running. He goes, you could take over one of those those roles, one of those characters. And I'm like, sure. So he's going to ask the other two guys. He asked Logan, and Logan said, sure. He didn't mind me joining. He's going to ask the other two guys if they mind me joining the game. And if they're okay with it, then I will be joining a D&D game on Thursday, which I enjoy D&D. I hadn't played in years until I started playing with Aaron and the kids, but I think it'll be fun to play in a game where there's some other adults. So that I think would be fun. If that doesn't work out, I don't know. I'm going to have to look and see if I can find a group of people who want me to join. But I'm looking forward to doing that if it works out. I think it would be fun. So hopefully they won't mind. I'm a nice person. I shouldn't mess up their game too much. And it would make it easier actually on Aaron because he wouldn't have to play all of the non-player characters. I mean, one of the characters would become a player character. So anyway, so that is something that's supposed to be happening this week. Of course, Tuesday is Valentine's Day. I hope that Valentine's Day is whatever you want it to be. If you are in a romantic relationship, I hope that you have a wonderful time with your honey. If you are not, I hope you have a great Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day or Snuggle Your Kitty Day, whatever it is. You know, I just hope that you feel loved and are able to give love to someone or something. Right, Baggy? Are you something? Come here. In your life. Because, of course, giving that love brings it so much back to you. Which is kind of, part of the joy of being in the stitching community. Right? Yes. Yes, that's the joy. Oh. I realize when I start talking to him, I start talking in a baby talk voice. So I'm sorry if that is annoying to you. He's my baby, and he also thinks that he's my parent, I think, because he does like groom me and do things that I've read mean that they think that you are part of their pack or whatever it is that cats have. Right? Yeah. Okay, so I think that's it. Plans. More of the same as far as stitching and crafting. Maybe a little bit of fun online gaming and hanging out with my sweet boy and work, of course. Work has been busy, which is good because at least it makes the days go by faster, right? But I think that that's it. Until I see you guys again. Happy Valentine's Day. And remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. Bye-bye, everybody.